Hello and welcome again as we consider yet another multiple choice question for IB Chemistry. What are the absolute and percentage uncertainties for the change in mass? And here you have this initial mass and then the final mass. So this information that's given here, this is the level of precision on the device. How you arrive at that is not of concern in this particular question, but we can just spend some time now and consider that. This level of precision of 0.05 is consistent with the data presented here, because when data is presented like that, depending upon whether you have a digital device, an analog device, or if the device simply says that you must use that level of uncertainty. But as far as the issue of having precision consistent with the number of significant figures stated in the data entry, you have to go by this last increment, which is in hundredths. So therefore, one way to put the uncertainty would be 0.01 of a gram. Or you could go by this increment here, the 10th increment, and finding half of that. And that's what they've gone with here in this. And now that is aside from the question, but of course related very much to topic 11 of IB Chemistry, 11.1 and 11.2, where you consider things like absolute uncertainty, relative uncertainty, significant figures, error propagation, and the like. So here you have these two data entries. The precision or the uncertainty is already given for you, and what you need to do is to subtract. And usually the maths in these questions are very simple. You're given a number like 42.35 and 22.35 because the examiners are aware that you are not allowed a calculator in the exam. So you can expect that any calculation that you must do is relatively simple. Here you should be able to see that there's a difference of 20. And with that difference of 20, of course, you're going to have to not subtract these because that won't make any sense, because then you would end up with zero uncertainty in your final answer. So what you do is you add the uncertainties when you're finding a difference in one reading versus another. Similar thing for a burette, a similar thing for a ruler, or here in the case of a balance with an initial mass and a final mass. So with that difference of 20, then you add these uncertainties. So your output from this would be 20.00 plus or minus 0.10 grams. Now, that would be the absolute uncertainty. Here you look down the choices and you see you have D and you have B, presenting you with this value for the absolute uncertainty. And now you're asked, what's the percentage uncertainty? And now you'll have to take this absolute uncertainty, 0.10, divided by the reading, which is 20.00, and then of course to find a percentage out of 100, you multiply by 100. This must be done without a calculator. Multiplying 0.10 by 100, you shift your decimal point 2 places, so this effectively becomes 10. So 10 divided by 20, you should know that that is 0.5. And the answer to this question is B.